This comment, even though it's not about what I'm about to talk about, really reminded me of a very dark and sinister history of OBGYN, and I want to talk about it. I don't think it's a coincidence that these two women that were forced to have cesareans against their will via a court order were Black. That played a role. We know that Black women are 3 to 4 times as likely to die in childbirth. It's racism in medicine. But why is it prevalent enough to create a 4-fold increased risk for Black and brown women? Let's back up to around the mid-20th century. It was actually legal to forcefully sterilize women, oftentimes without their consent, against their will. For some time in the mid-1900s, the US actively supported eugenics. The legal foundation for forcibly sterilizing people came from a court case, a Supreme Court case, Buck v. Bell. This is where we get this infamous line from a man named Oliver Holmes Jr. 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. And what this meant for a lot of particularly Black women is that when they went into the hospital to have their baby, they were oftentimes knocked out, their babies were pulled from them using forceps, and then when they woke up, they would find that they had been sterilized. It was without their consent much of the time, and oftentimes it was the doctor that was determining that this person needed to be sterilized because maybe they had too many kids, or for whatever reason, the doctor thought that they shouldn't be having more children. These forced sterilizations were happening to more than just Black women, but Black women were disproportionately targeted. And it wasn't just after they had their babies, it was after sometimes other types of surgical procedures as well. It was called the Mississippi appendectomy. Women would go in for surgery and then they would wake up having been sterilized. The case of the Relf sisters brought a lot of light to this. It actually exposed over 100,000 sterilizations that were happening annually. These girls were 12 and 14 and they were sterilized after their mother signed a consent form that she didn't fully understand. The 1970s wasn't that crazy long ago. These were children. So there is a well-documented historical pattern of people in the medical field trying to control women's, particularly Black women's, reproductive autonomy. So this whole concept of like, well, we can't take people's organs without their consent, it's like larger talking points about bodily autonomy. They're fairly new, fairly modern concepts. And so the fight is not over. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.